In this block, you're going to have Carolina Stroh every week bringing to you insights on Spiritist activities for children and youth. So I'd like to introduce you to our coordinator of the Spiritist activities for children, Carolina Stroh. Hi, Carol.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Carol, how did you get acquainted with Spiritism?
Well, I was very fortunate because I grew up within a Spiritist family. My grandmother was Spiritist and my mother was raised Spiritist. So when I grew up, I already went to the center and I already went to the classes for the children. So it's very fortunate for me that I was able to go through the whole process and now, as a member of Spirit Society, do my part to society and help with the children's activity.
Great. So I know that Michael, your husband, who is an American, he is little by little getting exposed to the teachings of Spiritism, right?
Yes, that's correct. You know, we can't keep these teachings to ourselves. We're here in the United States and we want to share it. And it's very grateful that I was able, to find somebody that shares the same thoughts and the same feelings. And even though he had no idea what Spiritism was, little by little he's coming to understand and to see that it makes sense, the things that Spiritists say. But since he wasn't familiar with it before, it's very new to him and he's still learning.
That's great. So, Carolina, what do you see as the importance of bringing Spiritism to children? Isn't that too early?
No, teaching children is never too early. The earlier, the better. The earlier you teach the children, the better they'll be able to assimilate those teachings into their lives. It'll just become second nature to them. For example, if you have a child who's just learning to speak and you teach them how to speak, how to pray, they'll naturally do that as they grow up. So it's easier for you to incorporate those teachings, those principles in their life, because they wait when they grow up, when they're like 10 or 12, and you feel, oh, now I'm going to teach them. They don't have that in their life anymore. You want to teach them how to pray at 10, 12. I mean, it's never too late to start, but the earlier you start, the better it is. The more they will assimilate that into their lives.
So is there in Kardec's books and references a reference for this, the importance of education?
Yes, there's a page, actually a question, the question under the law of work and question, especially question 685, where he talks about education. And here he says, education, we speak not here only of education of the mind, but also of the character and of the habit. Education itself being the totality acquired habits. Every day, large numbers of people enter society with no principles and nothing but to curb their instincts. This being so, we can hardly wonder at the disastrous consequences that follow in their wake. Once properly educated, however, these individuals will bring into their daily lives habits of order, an ability to plan for themselves and for their dependents, and a degree of respect for the rights of others. That will allow them to endure periods of difficulty with greater ease. Laxness and the inability to plan for the future can only be understood and cured through sound instruction. Universal education is then the starting point for and the essential element of your social well-being and the one pledge of the security for all of us. I think it's a very good point, and I'll reread it again, where it says, universal education is then the starting point for and the essential element of our social well-being, the one pledge of security for all of us. Here, speaking again of education, how it can help us spiritually learning about Spiritism and bringing security into our lives, like it says, you being more sure of what's going to happen to you, how you can prepare, so everything makes sense,
That's so beautiful, Carol. And I understand that today is an introduction to this block that we're going to present every week. And what is the book that you're going to recommend so parents can teach Spiritism to their children?
There are many books that have already been translated from other languages into English, and the one I'm going to read next week's blog is going to be The Sower. It's a very interesting book, and it's very good for children. It has pictures and not a lot of writings, and it's appropriate for any age So I would welcome you guys to either read it or come and watch it with us next week as we read this book together.
Thank you, Carol, very much, and we look forward to seeing that next week.
Thank you. See you next week.